Everybody's shouting, let's go. I'm good. I'm over that. Let's go! Or maybe one more. Because it's that time again for the best damn opening in Facebook YouTube live history. Often imitated, never duplicated. That fool with no hair that shouts like Ric Flair. Whoa! What? You heard me. The R8RBEAR! Raiders! Sup? Before I say anything, welcome everybody to the show. Whoops. Turn that off. There we go. Alexa, shut your mouth, girl. Tradish! R8RBEAR live first comment. Woo! MVP tonight for YouTube goes to the reigning, defending heavyweight champion of the world, Jim Vanderlyn. Jim, sup man? Welcome to the show. Always there for R8RBEAR on YouTube. Number one, numero uno, el jefe tonight. But Jim, you know my YouTube presence hasn't grown yet. So you better enjoy this while you can, because a lot of people are coming, I think. Hint, share, hint, hint, share. Second place, my silver medal for YouTube, John the Lion Leon. Always catching L's, but never taking losses. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Always there for R8RBEAR. Third place, my bronze medal goes to that emoji making son of a gun. Woo! Mark Vargas! You guys have 1, 2, and 3 locked down. You guys just exchange them back and forth. I gotta grow my audience. You guys you're too dominant. I gotta grow my audience. All right, pick it up right where we left off on Facebook. The gold medalist, numero uno, el jefe, goes to Dustin King. Dustin King, my heavyweight champion of the world on Facebook. Appreciate you, brother. Welcome to the show. Defending your champion again from that erstwhile competitor. Silver medal, speaking of which, Lucky Pace! I didn't order the lavender. I didn't do it. For those of you who might have missed yesterday's show, there's kind of a thing going on with me and Lucky Pace right now, and you know, because he made it a thing to make sure I understood that the lavender is way hotter than anything I already had, and he kind of said that. He did. He kind of did. He didn't really say that, but he said that. And then anyway, I was going to get the lavender because he was right. I thought it was pretty nice. I don't know if I would have kept saying it was fire 17 times before actually complimenting one of the other 3 hats that I had on display at the time, while he was telling me that, you know, none of them compare, though, to the lavender. So I went on and I was looking at them beautiful hats, and I ran into another one I really like, but they refer to it as stone. It's not white. And I compared it to the white one I have. It's not white. It's literally, it's pretty close. It's like stone. It's hard to explain. It's not gray and it's not white. It almost looks like bone, but they're calling it stone. So it's meant to be like cement or something. I don't know. I'm sure all of you found that very interesting. Third third place, my bronze medal goes to... And you guys know I love it when a Raiderette slides into the sausage fest. That is my medal round because there's so many dudes. Well, tonight, Anna Diaz Rencout, my first subscriber ever. That's right. She was the Bears' first fan. She loved Bear. And I love her right back. Honorable mention goes to my guy, Josh Russell, who is lurking on the outer, fringes. He's not retired, okay? Just everyone calm down, okay? He's just gotten a little fat, because he's been he's been on the beach enjoying Mai Tais. You guys got to understand, this guy's been the champion forever. He was one of the most dominant guys on this show's history. He was like Floyd Mayweather. If Floyd were huge and white and cool. Like my guy Josh Russell is. So, Josh Russell is just getting, he's not sure he even wants to get back into this with you guys. Okay? He's enjoying letting you guys have a little fun. Okay? But just know that. He allows that. Okay? Josh Russell's my guy. Mike Hendu, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Raider Ryan, I see you there. Rick Samurano Bear! What's up, brother? Always there for Raider Bear. Let me see who else is on here real quick before I start getting into everybody. Anthony Zirkle, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Corinna Trujillo, always there for Raider Bear. H. Gonzalez 575, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Appreciate you catching me on YouTube there. Corinna Trujillo! Whenever you guys hear that sound, it means one of my viewers is giving stars to the show. And stars are contributed to the show, go directly to charities like the Kind Fund, Kids in Need of Desks, St. Jude's and Early Onset Cancer, and now Arizona homeless programs that we're working with out here. It took forever. They have a lot of red tape, but we got through it because they had to make sure that we weren't weird or something. I don't know, I guess. I don't know. It felt like we were giving blood damn near. But everything's cool now, so it's really cool, and we're helping out here too now. We used to be really big in California. We used to help with a lot of homeless, generating like anywhere from $4,000 to $12,000, in a year just to get food and clothes, things like that to people on the ground. So pretty good. We're doing a good job here. Steeler Val, what's up, love? Welcome to the show. Hi, Tommy. Will Nanoff, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Michael Garrero, what's up, man? You have never, ever beaten me in a foot race, and you absolutely never would beat me in a foot race. Not even now. You're a fool. Jim Garrison, yo, Raider Bear. Raiders! He took the time to write it, so I took the time to shout it. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. I like that. Garrison. That's the third time I actually met two Garrisons out here. It was one guy, he worked at the supermarket I go to, and the other one, I think it was the bank. And it was both guys. They were nice. I don't know, maybe they're related. Wow, we're getting medal round trash talk. Dustin King let Lucky know he was a little bit slow on the yo. That's almost a rap lyric. Doc Raider, greetings, Raider Bear. First day back in the snake pit. Not the best day to meet the guy Val's going to start to date. Uh-oh. Easy on that stuff. Val's a big girl. She'll be all right. Hall of Fame game in 2 days and the Raiders football next Saturday. Football is back. Yes. It's not called cream. I just ordered the hat. I read what color it is. Now you're telling me what it is. I love this guy. Why can't you live by me? Gil Moody, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Gil, no, don't do that. Look at Gil. He said, brother, Bear, what's up, my good brother? See, he used brother twice. When he uses brother twice, it means he's spy snooping about the Raiders' business because last year, we beat the Chiefs! Gil, you have no business in this show right now. How dare you come trotting by this podcast? No matter how much my family may love you. He's literally like family. And I'm putting foots in him, okay? Because we beat the Chiefs. I'll say it quieter for you. How you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Oh, you're going to get it this year, Gil Moody. You're going to get it. And remember, if you care, you share a Raider Bear, like my guy Rick Samarano says. Richard Dundas, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. West up, playa. Appreciate that. Louis Hallwin, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Getting ready for some Raider football, putting foots in with every other team. What up, Bear to Bear? Appreciate that. All right, so what are we talking about tonight? Let me get right to that. First day of pads. Brock Bowers and Christian Wilkerson were very impressive. Christian Wilkerson, I can't talk right now. We're very impressive, the wide receiver. Also, we have a little bit more news about Josh Jacobs. Yeah, nobody wants that, but I'm going to tell you anyway. We'll keep it brief. But Josh is talking again. I don't know why, but Josh is talking again. Let's see. Some of the free agents that are available. I saw two names that I thought were pretty interesting. We'll talk about that in a second. And then also, a federal judge made a ruling against the NFL just recently. We'll talk about that. And the quarterback battle in training camp is starting to define itself. We're starting to see some things in this, even this early, because this training camp actually started, I believe it was Tuesday. Monday they checked in, Tuesday it started. How do I say this? The quarterback situation has taken a step in a direction of one or the other two quarterbacks. So let's just do that right now. Because I'll be honest with you, I was getting mad. I was just getting tired of this back and forth. Every report you were getting was that both guys were playing well. And every time I would reach out to anyone I knew, I was getting the same stuff. Both guys are playing well. Both guys are playing pretty well. So far, both guys are showing, their assets. Well, we've spotted something, and I think Luke Getsy, if you didn't see his interview today, go check it out. It was really good. If you don't see it, I'll try and grab it right after the show and repost it on Raider Bear Family page. But here it is. He was basically talking about continuity at the quarterback position, getting balance, understanding the play that's called and running the play that's called and throwing to the progression that the play calls for against a certain defense. So if, for example, if a play that you call has three levels: a running back pass, a tight end pass, and a wide receiver pass. And so you have three levels to that: deep, mid with the tight end, short valve sort of pass out, slant sort of thing to the running back. Basically, Gardner Minshew was going against the rules. So now he would snap the ball, those three levels would set up, and the defense now is picking. Are we going to give you the short thing? Are we going to try and take away the mid? Are we going to try and take away the deep? Because you can't take away everything. On most plays, one of those things is going to be available, okay? Because, for example, if you try to take away the deep, that's two wide receivers, one and the two. One may run a cut in, the other may run a deep post. If there's any miscommunication there, one of them's open. So you got to figure the deep's not going to be there. So they're going to look at Brock or Michael over the middle, or potentially one of the running backs coming out of the backfield. What's happening is, and what I'm getting a read on from camp just recently, is that Gardner Minshew is going against the rules of, if I see the open man, no matter what level it is, I throw to the open man, not the man I want to throw to. You do not force the ball. If the defense has made a mistake or they're giving something up, you have to take what they're giving up. So if they play both of the deep receivers and they've got them covered, you cannot go to either one of them. If they're covered, if the tight ends have been picked up and the linebackers have done a good job and all you got is the underneath, then you go with the underneath. If they've even picked that up, you throw the ball away or you try to scramble for a few yards. Gardner Minshew is kind of breaking the rules, and he's looking around and deciding what he wants to do. Whereas AOC, this is all recent reports, AOC is snapping the ball, going through his step, 1, 2, 3 as progressions, and delivering the ball to where it's supposed to go for that situation, for what the defense is giving you. So when there were plays when the defense gave it up across the tight end in the middle, Aiden O'Connell threw there. When it was the underneath, he threw to the underneath, and he had some stuff that he could throw deep where they were letting one guy loose and double on the other, and he threw the ball, made plays. So we're hearing more and more that AOC isn't just winning the job. Gardner Minshew had a couple things exposed. For example, Gardner Minshew is very good, and he is very good on the rollouts. The problem with a rollout, if you just try to envision it in your mind, the problem with a rollout is if once you roll out, whether it's to the right or the left, you've cut off a big section of the field for you to attack with. So, for example, if I run way over here to the right side, I can't now throw back to the left because the ball has to travel too far, and there's too many hyper-athletic defenders between the path of the ball that could get up and either knock it down or, even worse, intercept it. So when you roll out to the right, it means you're throwing the ball right, or you're throwing it away right, or you're going to run for a couple of yards, maybe slide, maybe get out of bounds. But everything's going to happen on the right side. So if you snap the ball and you just roll right, the problem with that is you rolled before pressure got there. So it wasn't necessary for the roll. He's doing it because he feels more comfortable throwing out of the roll. But whether that's more comfortable or not for him isn't the point. He's cutting off half of the field. So if he rolls left, he's cutting off the right side. And if he rolls right, he's cutting off, if he rolls left, he's cutting off the right. And if he rolls right, he's cutting off the left. In effect, cutting the play in half and limiting how you can attack them. That's starting to show in camp. Because I'm getting reports that he rolled on a couple plays where the pressure wasn't there yet. That's a sign that he feels better and feels like he'll perform better, and i.e. then look better to the coaching staff, completing passes and making plays because he's doing these running rollouts. Well, the defense and the offensive coordinator, Luke Getsy, kind of caught up with that and said to him, come on now. When the ball snapped to you, take your steps, set your feet, and deliver the ball. Just be a quarterback. I don't need exciting quarterback each and every play. Come back, do your steps, 3 to 5 steps, stop, set your feet, make a decision, and throw. And it's starting to look like Gardner Minshew struggles with that a little bit. It's starting to look like maybe that's the reason why he's been labeled. What is labeling? He's been labeled a backup in probably forever. And this news coming out, it's not. All you got to do is read. If you read enough articles from enough of the scouting, listen to enough of the interviews that the Raiders are giving at training camps, it's all there. You guys are talking. Jesse Parker, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. That's my guy right there. Mark Martinez, how you doing, man? Welcome. Wow, you Garrisons get around, huh? Quite the clan there. I like that. John Souza, what's up? Welcome to the show. Aloha back, brother. And to Mama Bear, I'll let her know. Miguel Garcia, 559 in the house. I don't care if it's preseason. I still want to beat the Cowboys or the Cowgirls in game 2. Cullen Baldridge, the Dallas Cowboys are a mess. They're a mess. And I've already kind of went on the record about this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think that I think that Jerry Jones is going to be gone a lot sooner than people realize. I don't think Jerry Jones is going to last much longer. He doesn't look good. You know what I mean? He doesn't look good. I don't know. Some of these guys, they lived to like 125. I don't know. But not Jerry. Jerry doesn't look good to me. I used to work in physical therapy and with physical therapists, and I saw a lot of alcoholics. Because a lot of them are in car accidents and they're executives, and then they're in their 50s, 55, 65, and they come in for therapy, and I would work them out in the gym after the chiropractors would stretch them out, and then I would talk to them about what happened and how to make their body better. And every single one of them would have the red swelling under the eyes, which is not damage. It's from alcohol, from drinking long, years of drinking. They get the stippling in the top of the cheeks here, and especially the nose, like Rudolph. It just goes red from years and years of alcohol drinking. So when they're sober, it goes their normal skin color. But after that, they get drunk. It just all that red comes to the surface. Jerry Jones looks bad. I'm sorry, I'm just reading the comments. Hey, Bear, play both quarterbacks at the same time. Give them both a bottle of pickle juice. All right, look, Chief fan, okay? I know you're all giddy because you've won a couple of Super Bowls lately. Well, it ends now, okay, pal? It's all over with. By the way, that last championship you won had gonorrhea on it. We put it on there. Remember, you were in our stadium. We had time to do it, so you guys all have gonorrhea. Quarterback situation is crap. We need a dominant O-line. Craig Gilmore, more and more moves are being made on the offensive line, but I'm not concerned there. Where Raider fan is concerned about that, you're thinking back to last year. If you go online and you just look, especially on Bleacher Report, we've made a lot of moves on the offensive line, and Thayer Mumford is looking like the man. He went from, I think I might be able to play, to, I think I might be all pro. He's going to be good this year. I'm telling you. I love Thayer Mumford. I loved him the day we got him. I just thought he was a project, but he was the most athletic project. Great feet, fast for his size, and he's starting to understand the principles of blocking at right tackle. How you have to work with your right guard to sometimes work the inside or sometimes release him and play a defensive end straight up on the outside, etc. And he seems to have assimilated that knowledge now to the extent to now where it comes to him. So now his physical tools can come out because he doesn't have to think about how he's supposed to be playing so much. Does that make sense? And so it's allowing his body to just take over and go because he knows what he should be doing now. Okay, so Brock Bowers, it's been told, though, that Brock Bowers has been standing out the most thus far at training camp. Super professional, super serious, and honestly, he's starting to get kind of a name for himself with everyone on the team already, in the sense of he's nice, he talks to everyone, he's very communicative, high fives, stuff like that. He's a cool guy, you know what I mean? He doesn't overdo it, but he doesn't not participate, you know what I mean? So he's somewhere in the middle, just a nice guy. But then the moment the whistles start blowing and they get out there and they start working, he goes Terminator face. It's the third time I've heard a player describe it. They said literally that he looks stone-faced. They said even if they make plays against him, for example, Jacorian Bennett picked him up in a zone defensive switch that they made, and Jacorian Bennett picked up Brock Bowers. Well, the ball was delivered, and at the last second, and I apologize, I can't tell you which quarterback threw it. They didn't mention that. They were just so focused on the defensive play that they didn't go into who threw it, but anyway, long story short, the ball was being thrown to Brock Bowers, and with just fingertips, Jacorian Bennett was able to get inside of him and deflect the ball and knock it down. So, Jacorian Bennett starting to look better. Brock Bowers looking fantastic, super professional. Jacorian Bennett beats him on this play, starts pumping his fist, getting in his face, and they said Brock just looked at him. Again, no expression. And then just walked back to the huddle for the next play. I was like, okay, that's cool. I like that. You know what I mean? Because you'll see guys, even if they are on the same team, they don't want to get shown up. So if a guy, dives and you dive and whoever wins that play starts going crazy, the guy who lost on that play is usually going to shove him or say shut up or get mad or, whatever the case may be. We've all seen it for decades in football. And with Brock, it was exactly the opposite. He was like, nope. Okay, cool. He made a play. Good. I'll get him on the next one. It's like, all right, I like that. AP said he's getting him ready for some bang, bang, let's go Raiders. Dustin, the team is ready, but where we had the most pleasure, Dustin King! Appreciate the love on the stars, brother. Hey, when you entertain people, that's how you do it, You tip your waiter. Now, AP is starting to bring a culture already to the team. Now, before, and that we were just lucky that this happened, but before, as a result of him just being a guy on the staff, as opposed to being the head coach, he got to know all the guys on the roster. He got to know who they are. He got to work with them. He got to work with the staff, Patrick Graham, etc., and then gets the job. So now everyone in the locker room has a relationship with him, respects him, likes him. Fast forward past all of that, now he's installing his philosophy. Well, we all know what that is. It's incredible. First, it starts with this: Raiders, which we all, as Raider fans, know what that means. It means we hit people. It means we play physical. It means we run the ball. It means we have an explosive passing attack, and the other team's quarterback goes down often and very hard. Now they've kind of written into the rules that he can't go down hard anymore. So let's just change that to must go down a lot. How about that? He must go down a lot. I tell people that are close to me that once they find a significant other, the person better treat them like royalty. I tease them and say that I need to interview them. I want a resume, etc. It's just me being silly. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. More people could use a friend like that. Appreciate you, Dustin. Webb or Armstrong? I don't know if you're asking me or someone else. I would say Webb, though. Doc Raider, no need to transform him to the Be a Raiders fan. Ellis Irving, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Richard Silva, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Craig Gilmore, we have the worst quarterback room in football. Craig, I know that it may look that way, but I just don't know if that's true. There's other teams, like, for example, I don't like what they did with the Atlanta Falcons. You brought in Kirk Cousins. Is he a good quarterback? Yes. Is he consistent? And does he get hurt a lot? Yeah, at least now. Because, see, in his earlier part of his career, he was pretty reliable. But he's starting to get a little dinged up now. He's still a good player, but he's starting to get a little dinged up now. And then you bring in the rocket left-handed kid out of college. Kirk Cousins immediately feels threatened. He's not going to want to help the kid because he feels like he's going to lose his job to the kid. So he's in competition with him now in camp, which is how it's been set up. Now, as a rule, you do want a backup quarterback behind the number one to push him, to feel like, hey, if you're not at your best, I'm close, and I could end up with the job. That makes the number one stay crisp and really go for it. But that's not how it works for everyone. We all know some people that are very, very smart, and what do they say to you? Oh, I'm just bad at testing, though. It makes me feel pressure and anxiety, and I don't answer well. And then they take the test privately for the teacher, and they get a 100% and get every question right. It's true. There's just people like that. You know what I mean? And so you have to read the room in how you want the situation. And Kirk Cousins was very vocal that he felt backstabbed and betrayed by the team, that if they had any ideas of getting a young firebrand quarterback that was going to, because remember, Kirk Cousins isn't just mad because the guy's young. He's mad because they paid him a lot of money. That means the owner's going to want to see what he can do. That means giving him game time. That means Kirk Cousins' time there is limited, even if he plays well. It's the league now. It's just what the league is now. No, Gil, no, I'm not acknowledging any previous statements at this time. I'm so excited for the Raiders this year. No more coaches. Go Raiders. Right on, brother. R8RBEAR, even though I had nothing but my gut to base it on, I said a couple of months ago that we're going to see a different and much better Aiden O'Connell this year. He's winning the job now. That's the other part of what was happening in camp that I didn't really talk about. When people say we have the worst quarterback room, my response to that is maybe we do. I don't think so. I think what's happening in Washington, you could argue, is worse. I think you could argue that the Carolina Panthers, they barely have a quarterback. That Bryce Young kid, he was awful last year. So I'm not saying that we have, a great situation, but the worst, I would never go to worst. Not worst. The Cardinals situation, I could go on. The Buccaneers situation, I just disagree with you. Now, as far as when you have two quarterbacks, you really don't have one at all. That is an old football saying. But the only reason I don't agree with it in this instance is because you're going too fast. Give it time. Let us get through training camp in the preseason. Once we get there, if they're still going back and forth, I'll be pissed right with you. But to be quite honest with you, I think AOC is going to definitively win the job shortly because he's starting to in camp. Tanamoku, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Yeah. Bennett is getting better. He's getting better, but we have to be careful with that. Remember, when you're in training camp, you take risks, you know what I mean, against the defense. You throw balls that in the regular season you might not throw. And it's because you want to see if you can make that throw. Maybe it's a play action bomb, you know, that has to go 40 yards, and you just want to see, can I put that right on Devontae Adams? Can I put that right on, you know, Hendrickson when he's running down the, or Wilkerson, when he's running down the sideline? And that's part of why that Ja'Cory Bennett, in my opinion, has looked better. But will he look better during the season? I do think so. You know what I mean? We have to remember these guys played well in little league, and then high school, and then in college. And every time they went to one of those levels, they had to get there, assimilate the speed and the athleticism, and then try to be the best or one of the best players at that level. Now, everyone we're talking about did that at those earliest three levels: kids level, high school, college. Okay, they were dominant and made it into the NFL. So with Ja'Cory Bennett's speed, tools, and the fact that they're really investing in him being a solid number one, I think Jack Jones and him are going to be the 1 and 2. But early reports, I did not think that, but I think Ja'Cory's gonna win the position. Anthony Zirkle said, any news about Dylan Laube or Tommy Eichenberg's performance? Yes, Tommy Eichenberg especially is really looking good in camp. He's understanding the defense. He's understanding the defensive calls. Now, whenever you show the coaching staff that you get what they want you to get mentally, you play sooner. It's usually our minds that have to catch up with the game, not our bodies. The guy's been playing football for a long time, again, at 3 levels. So he understands football. It's just now, can he understand the philosophy, the game plan, and the principles that his coaching staff right now at this level wants from him? And so far, the earliest reports are exceptional, that he seems like he's catching on and catching on fast. So Eichenberg should be nice. Really, really nice. Now, as far as Dylan Laube, I mean, I've been telling you guys Dylan Laube since the draft, but I'll say it again. He's already getting snaps with the first team. They want to put him in certain plays because they see his skill set. The guy is a nightmare when you put him in screen passes. He's a nightmare. He has the kind of speed a wide receiver has. So all he has to do is make a little move here, make a guy miss, see the blocks, and then boop, he turns on that speed. And I'm telling you, he can fly. I love Dylan Laube. He is like, we got away with one on Dylan Laube. But that honestly, that's the sign of the times now. The talent level coming out of schools has gotten so high in the last 10 years with specific sciences. In other words, there are camps specifically for offensive linemen that are run by former offensive linemen in the league who could really play. There are camps for wide receivers. There are camps for linebackers. And it's a way for the college guys in that dead period between leaving college and entering into the pros that they can get a lot of education from guys who are former NFL players who are really coaching them up, teaching them how to run better, teaching them about diet. Those things that a lot of young players, and here's a good example, don't understand, like how they eat. They have to watch what they eat, but still eat a lot because you lose weight throughout the years playing at such a high physical level. It's like super workouts every Sunday. So they've got to really pile on the calories, but smart calories. So it doesn't weigh them down, slow them down, just gain weight instead of it being nutrition and muscle mass and muscle recovery and so on. But they're getting educations like that like never before these last 5 to 10 years. And guys are coming into the league now like never before. And so in the past where you might get lucky and all 32 teams, maybe 7 teams would say, wow, we found this undrafted free agent. God, he's incredible and blah, blah, blah. How did we miss this guy? Now, instead of there being 5 or 6 guys that are like that throughout the league, now there's enough to fit one on every team. Every team is going to have one guy that's kind of like their, hey, have you heard about this guy? We hadn't either, but you're going to hear about him now. Dylan Laube is that guy. People are going to be going like, who the hell is that? Promise. You'll see. Just watch. Do you know if Colton Miller is going to be back before the regular season? Cullen Baldridge, welcome to the show. You know, Cullen, I got to tell you, they're being kind of mysterious with him. And that's never a good sign, because usually if they're being a little mysterious with you, it's because they don't want other teams to know it. And if they don't want other teams to know what it is, it means it's bad. And I don't know. I don't know if Colton's going to be ready for the season. They're saying he will. And Colton Miller is saying he will. And, for example, I even heard a statement where they said about 2 weeks ago, if the season started right now, he wouldn't be ready to go. But if the season starts when it's supposed to, which obviously it will, they're saying he'll be ready by then. I don't understand how they can look into a magic ball and see that, but whatever. Even Colton Miller, he's been kind of quiet. You know, he's not interviewing like he used to. He's not really talking about it as much. He's just sort of rehabbing, but I'm concerned. But we do have help on the offensive line. Polo Malo said to be improving quite a bit. Reyes Antonio, welcome again. And he reminds me a lot of Keelan Doss. Keelan Doss is the wide receiver we just brought back recently that we've had on the team and off and on the team and off and on the team and off, something like 3 times. Polo Malo is the same thing. Great little player. Comes from a bloodline that that produces players. Okay, I'll just say that. And Troy Polamalu, I believe, is his uncle, if I'm not mixing him up with one of the other guys. But really nice player, physically a tough guy. I really like Polamalu. I'm praying that he really has a significant jump enough to where he's really playing, because I really like that kid. Dirty Eric 1500 said, Bear, what up? Look, no matter what they say, just know our quarterbacks are going up against top 5 defense, so their mishaps are expected, but when the off-show progress against it, it's respected. Raiders! Appreciate that, Dirty Eric 1500. Now, I agree with some of that, but where I push even harder than him, I think that AOC has the job. I've never wavered off that. All I ever said is Gardner Minshew is a true competitor, and he'll push AOC, but AOC was going to win the job. Now, was he being sort of grandfathered in for the work he did the year prior, and the fact that Gardner Minshew wasn't even on the team last year? Yes and yes, okay? But there's nothing wrong with that. That's not nepotism. That's he was here. I mean, obviously it's not nepotism because he's not AP's son, but what I mean is it's not like a nepotism situation where AOC is just being given the job. He played last year. He played well. And now I just feel like it was his job to lose. And more reports, like you heard from the earlier part of the show, and if you weren't here for the earlier part of the show, I was reporting the fact that Gardner Minshew now is starting to make some mistakes. He's throwing interceptions. He's having to throw the ball away because there are times where he's rolling out and he's cutting off his options from one side of the field to the other, because even though he may have a good arm, he's all the way on the far right side. Then you can only throw to the right or run right, or limiting what they can do. So he's not making Coach Luke Getsy happy right now. Mark Vargas said Dylan Laube was impressive in practice. Dylan, #1 Chiefs fan, Gil Moody is still watching, so I don't want him to know yet. I want him to be stunned by it. I want Gil Moody to grab his beer and go, spit it all out and go, who the hell is Dylan Laube, when he scores his 3rd touchdown in KC. Oh, it's coming, okay? It's coming, Gil. I can feel you smiling and laughing right now with your disrespect. Well, I'm putting butts in you, because I'm going to do it now, but Max Crosby's going to do it soon. To your little curly-haired, red Teletubby-looking wife that weighs 10 pounds. Brother, that's an idiot online. Patrick Mahomes has it rough, man. I do. I feel bad for him, man. I do. He's a nice-looking kid. I always give him a hard time, but, he's a nice-looking kid. He's rich. He's going to die rich. He's got a kid now, and his brother's just a complete idiot. He has problems with his parents. His wife kind of gets into these beefs and supports his crazy-ass brother which is weird. She goes on his podcast that he like wanted her to stop. So not only can Patrick not control his brother, he now can't control his wife, who likes what his brother's doing. Gil, I love the chaos in his life. I really do. I really do. Aiden was just a rookie last year. That got thrown into the fire with a Josh McDaniels playbook. O'Connell looked pretty good at Purdue. He even scrambled some. It's too early to know what we have. Anthony Zirkle, well said. Welcome to the show. Great group picture there. And honestly, we don't have enough of an image of what we have, because even if you wanted to take information from how Aiden played last year, you can't. Remember, he was in a hacked-together offense because they had fired Josh McDaniels. But not until Josh McDaniels had AOC try to install that offense of his in his mind, go out and fumble the ball twice, and throw 2 interceptions. I think it was week 4. Then Josh McDaniels benches AOC, puts whoever in, listen to me, Jimmy Garoppolo or whatever, and then he plays terrible. So we don't really know what AOC is. We just know that he did the best he could with what they chopped together of an offense last year toward the end of the year, I know it was kind of back and forth, but guys, in his final 5 games, he went 4-1. The defense had a lot to do with that, but, it's a team effort. So it counts regardless. It shouldn't even be looked at as a drawback to him. People would say, oh, he won the game. He only scored 17 points and the defense got 4 interceptions. Well, okay, then the defense helped him win a game. So what? That's what the team's supposed to do. And more often than not, the offense is going to be the one that does that for you. Miko Kinez said, Raider Bear, how are you? It's your human mascot, Mr. Putting Foots in him. Miko Kinez, what's up, brother? Too long since we talked last. Good to see you. Thayer Mumford injury, I don't think we'd call it an injury just yet. I think he got banged up. I don't think they're even calling it an injury yet. Could Laube develop into what we had with Charlie Garner, or into Justin Huggy Bear Fargas for that matter? Anthony Zirkle, you're showing your Raider fan knowledge. I'm impressed. First and foremost, I liked Fargas, and his dad was dope. But I would go more toward Charlie Garner. Remember, Charlie Garner was the kind of guy that he would show hesitance to see a block or to see a hole, but then he would hit it. You know what I mean? There was no shake and bake and back and forth. He would just look, see something, give you a little wiggle, and then bow, you got speed. Dylan Laube is just like that. He gets the ball, and then he goes into that matrix mode where everything slows down, and he's sort of looking to see everything. He's setting everything up, and then he'll just suddenly, boom, break left, or boom, break right. And you don't know what he's going to do because he has a hesitation to his step. And it's going to throw off defenders in the NFL the same way it did for him at the college ranks, because that's a weapon that translates. Being able to see your blocks in front of you, set up the defenders, and then make a sudden move that helps the blockers in front of you. For example, if your blocker's here, and this guy is running this way across the field to come get Dylan Laube, then if Dylan Laube runs toward him, he's going to run this way. That's going to help his blocker. So he's moving his blocker's momentum in front of guys that are trying to tackle him. It's brilliant. It's hard to teach. Deion Sanders was the best at it. Deion Sanders could just look at a spot and go, oh, right there. And he would see 3 blocks that were going to form, and he was so fast that he would go through those blocks, and then there was just nothing you could, even if you had angles on him, there's nothing you could do. Because he would be running full speed while you're kind of going like this and trying to regroup yourself. You try to regroup, gain your weight, and try to run against Deion Sanders, you might as well tell everybody what his butt looks like, because that's all you're going to see while he runs down the field. Tony Shepard, Trey Tucker is looking really good. I think that's who you meant. Trey Tucker came into camp with like a whole new focus. And I'm serious. They said he was probably the most talked about player when we first came back to camp from the offseason. Everyone, I'm talking even the coaching staff, the players were like, damn, is that the same guy? And it's because Trey Tucker did what we all wish Every player would do. See, there was a time when every player would work to get better, than they were last year. You don't have that anymore because all these guys are super wealthy, so they just give you what they give you because they know it's good enough. And oftentimes, that's how they play. Trey Tucker didn't quite make the squad. He was still on the team, but he didn't get starting reps. So in the offseason, he went out, got with people, worked on his footwork, worked on his body, worked on his nutrition, and came back like an entirely new man. New physique, new speed, new footwork that they hadn't seen. That's crisp. Where in the past he kind of lagged and kind of stutter stepped and things like that. No. Now it's boom, boom. And he's doing it at speed. So super excited about what Trey Tucker can bring to us. Sorry, it's hard for me to fit everything into one show, but yeah, that's another big one. But I appreciate you bringing it up. Tony Shepard, yes. A Napoleon Kaufman type is another good example. Napoleon was that way. The difference is, though, Napoleon Kaufman, in my opinion, he had a little bit of tough guy in him. Most people don't give him credit for that. They see Napoleon Kaufman as a finesse runner because that is how he ran. And he did have speed and spin moves. He could make guys miss. But he also could run up the middle and really take it to guys. He would put his helmet down, sometimes in an illegal manner. But, who doesn't in some plays like that back then? But he would, he got into people's chests and he made plays. I've always been impressed. I was always impressed by Napoleon Kaufman, not just his football, but even what he did off the field. The way he stopped football for his calling to God. Bless him. Brilliant. And I know we were all mad, but not mad at him. We were just mad at what we were losing. You know what I mean? So, great guy. Bear, I got tickets to go to the Raiders practice at Legion in 2 weeks. Nice. Tana, you know what I always say to you. My inside reporter. Okay, so bring me good news. Take notes. I'll let everyone else read that, Tony Shepard. I'll just put it up. Mr. Raider Bear, say it loud. We beat Mr. Raider Bear, say it loud. We beat those dirty Chiefs. He added dirty. I normally just say Chiefs, but Raider Bear, can we never mention Jimmy G's name again after this? It does hurt to even hear it said, doesn't it? Henry Gonzalez is, or I assumed it was Henry. It's H. Gonzalez. My bad. 575 is laughing. Good for him. Okay, so back to it. What was I coming? Josh Jacobs is basically talking about how the stability at the Packers felt better than what he had at the Raiders because there was so much chaos in the front office. Always different coach, different GM, different coach, different GM, different offensive coordinator, different defensive coordinator. He just, he, as a player, I don't know if he's trying to make a point or if he's just trying to be, salty. I don't know. Because that kind of conversation is not going to come up unless he wants it to. Any reporter that even went in that direction to start talking about the Raiders, he could have just went, I'm a Packer now. Ask me Packer questions. And instead he didn't. Instead he goes right into all this stuff, and I don't like it. It's just to me, it's like I like Josh. I like his story, coming from homelessness and everything. And the guy was he was struggling. Him and his dad, they slept in hotels and sometimes his truck. They didn't have a house. So he's a success story and then some. But to now get so mouthy with the franchise, and why is he doing it? He's salty because of how they treated him. So what, Josh? Guys get treated like that on different teams throughout the league, on every team, every single season. Sometimes every Sunday. Guys get cut. Guys get lied to about getting re-signed or a contract or whatever else. It happens with every franchise. It's part of the game. Are you telling me all the players are honest? When they have a torn Achilles or something like that, and they say, I don't want to do my workouts at the combine, I'll do it on my pro day to give themselves extra time. And then at their pro day, they say, look, I saw my own medics and they cleared me. And then as soon as the draft's over, they go, sorry, I need Achilles tear surgery. My bad. But I'm glad you drafted me 12th overall. Yay. You know what I mean? Players do that all the time to the teams, but now, the team shouldn't be able to do it back, of course. And they started that. That's why players are catching up and doing it themselves now. Travis Swift is still irritated that the Raiders beat them on Christmas Day. I've only brought that up about 72 times. Yeah, that was the best. Okay, so in free agency, Donovan Smith, offensive lineman Donovan Smith of the Chiefs. That's right, those bum Chiefs don't want to pay their better players. This guy was an all-time starter for them. He was in 130-plus games, started all of them. Reliable, tough guy. Hey, Gil, how come you don't pay your players? We will. Maybe he comes over and gives us a little bit of information about your playbook this year. Ooh, I don't know. Richard Nunez, don't forget who picked you. Oh, you dress warm, get cold in Green Bay. Right. He's talking about Josh Jacobs. It is still the best. I agree. There we go. All right, what was my other thing? This was actually kind of big, and I forgot to tell you guys about this. A federal judge ruled against the NFL that for their NFL ticket pricing, that they overpriced millions of people on their Sunday ticket because of how certain games would get blocked out, and then in reality, they're not getting part of what they're getting paid for. And then you multiply that over, millions of customers all over the United States. Here's what happens. The NFL is lucky that they got lucky with that John Gruden decision. I don't know how many of you remember this, but John Gruden's case was originally in the court system, and then the NFL and their lawyers reached out to the federal judge and said, this is an NFL matter. These are NFL rules. We should be handling this in arbitration court, which is NFL court, not in legal court, because you guys don't have any, you have say over this, but nothing was done to him that breaks the law. It breaks football law. So we should be the ones to deal with him. And the judge agreed. The judge agreed and sent John Gruden back to NFL court where, Roger Goodell controls everything and everyone. So John Gruden's screwed. He's not going to win anything. You know what I mean? So now that saved them a lot of money because John Gruden was talking about billions. He really was. He was never going to get that, but he was going to raise the bar so high that a judge, if he ruled against him, he'd say, okay, you can't have $12 billion, but you can have $4 billion. You know what I mean? And that would have just broke the back of the NFL because the NFL just lost a federal judgment against them for their pricing of the NFL season ticket, and the judge ruled they have to pay back people who got the Sunday ticket $4.7 billion. Oh, you heard me right. There was no M in front of that. It was a B. 4.7 billion. Potted foots in the NFL, okay? Because you're not getting out of that one. Well, wait a minute. They're appealing. The NFL's appealing. So this could take another 2 years before you get an answer from me. So make sure you subscribe to Raider Bear Family page, both on YouTube and Facebook, please. If you look down right down there next to the blue thumbs up, there's a green badge. If you click on that, you're on your way to subscribe to Raider Bear Live on Facebook, and it helps us a lot here because we're able to raise funds for all sorts of charities all over the world. I can't do it on YouTube yet because my presence isn't big enough there yet. So if you share me on YouTube, it would be much obliged. I love you all. Also, if you're considering doing a podcast, you can look at my link on here and click on that link, and it takes you right to StreamYard, and that would help us out also here at the show. We get like $5 every time someone uses our platform through my link there, so I'd really appreciate it. And that's the end of our show. Alexa, resume! I've almost got her time down. All right, that's my show. Much love. Shout out to our armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, National Guard, Space Force, for all you do. The energy and love of this show is dedicated to your sacrifice, active and veteran. Much love. Raiders! I hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Raider Bear Family page. Don't forget, subscribe to Raider Bear Live on YouTube and Facebook. I love you guys. I do, seriously. Don't get weird about it. It's love. Ladies and gentlemen, love you guys. Raider Nation love. Not you, Gil. You, Gil, get the hell out of here.